And how Infinity War Part 2 goes, I would, because in terms of rating, if I were to make a top 10 and I would probably put Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 as like 1.
That's cheating.
Is it? It's not for my list.
Okay. No, I don't think so, because you cheat in your top 10. You put all 3 Lord of the Rings in one slot, so don't tell him he can't.
I feel like,
but I still
take up 3 slots just for
one.
Lord of the Rings.
But you never clarified that, because I remember calling you out on that. And you're like, oh, but I'm putting all 3. It's my list. So if it's Briggs' list, he can compare. He can put the.
Yeah, but I make the rules. Yeah, but that was like 2 years ago. I'm a different guy.
So this is my problem so far I have with your guys' list. Why is there no love for The Dark Knight? Which is like...
I never said anything bad about The Dark Knight.
No, but the fact that
it could probably
it's
be
not been mentioned as far as a top comic movie is, I think, a criminal act. I know I'm biased.
Honestly,
I just forgot about it.
I don't think of it as a comic book movie.
See, that's
I think of it just as a good movie.
Maybe it's because the third one just totally hampers it.
Forget about the third one, because then I would just say, oh, you know what, The Hobbit just completely killed Lord of the Rings, you know?
Yeah, but The Hobbit's not the third Lord of the Rings movie.
I think
it's the first.
Oh fuck, you're right. I'd probably like to see, because I've seen Dark Knight maybe twice in my life. I'd probably have to watch it a couple more times in order to, I don't know, I'd probably see more things I like about it. Maybe I'd bring it up on the list. I don't think I could ever see it cracking in the top 10 though.
I don't think of your movies all the time. I don't think it's a Dylan Must movie.
You don't think it's a Dylan Must movie?
No. I think you have a certain type movie, and I don't think that's it. I think for some reason that's like it's almost like too highbrow comic book for you to be like, oh yeah, that's a top.
Highbrow.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it, because you like Nolan a lot, but you don't.
It's
really...
probably because I don't love Batman. Right?
I guess, but you gotta learn to love him. You know, you've only seen these movies.
Why do I have to learn to love him? Because he's a well-known character. That's like saying, oh, you should just love Star Wars because it's Star Wars. Well, no. If they make a bunch of shit movies, then I think Star Wars is overrated.
But that's the difference. Out of the Batman movies you've seen, you're two for one. There's one bad Batman movie for you, which, you know, you're definitely the minority in, but that's fine. But then there's 2 great Batman movies that tell like a great story, directed by one of your favorite directors. I don't know what takes more to get you on board, because I gotta show you the shitty 90s ones, which are fun, but Danny DeVito's The Penguin's not gonna sell you. This is
well, I mean, the reason I don't watch Batman as a kid is because I don't know, I don't really find the character all that interesting. Like, he's a
human, man. He's like one of us.
There's a lot of movies about humans, don't you think?
I know, I'm just talking about comic movies, you know.
Okay. I don't know, there's a lot of comic movies about humans as well.
Not good ones.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Anyway.
You know what's a good movie?
I didn't say Dark Knight's bad.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
All time in our chat.
I just don't like Jared Leto.
Dark Knight Rises, he says is bad?
Yeah.
I think that is
I feel like The Dark Knight is, like, I don't think anyone can say that that's bad.
People make
people can make an argument, but
I think if I sat down doing Dark Knight Rises, I could at least get him to a mediocre.
Peak me at 5.
Yeah, peak you at 5. I think. You know, I think your Bane hates a little too much, but
well, there's other things about that movie I don't like.
Because I said I'd sprinkle in some news talking about movies we don't like. What do we feel about this Death Note sequel happening?
There's a movie coming to Netflix sequel. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, remember Death Note?
I remember Death Note.
Yeah, that.
I was just clarifying the news because I didn't hear about this.
Oh yeah. I thought someone posted in the chat. Maybe I was wrong.
It's possible,
but yeah, it's officially happening.
Okay.
How?
It's probably gonna be quite bad.
It did. They said because it did good numbers for them.
Yeah. But isn't the story over? Isn't it just like a 1-season thing?
No.
I thought it was only one.
The story didn't end with the
where the movie ended.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's much more to it, and plus, like, the movie ended on cliffhanger with him getting.
I don't remember the movie. It was really bad.
I'm excited to watch it because that first one was
atrocious.
So fun. It was bad though.
I didn't see. It didn't hit that level for me. I don't think.
It is what is it? It is it's a Golden Geek winner. It won Worst Film 2017. So it has that. It has that gold.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that, and oh no, that's the honor. That's the honorary, the inaugural. We didn't have that award in 2016. We're trying to be a bit more positive, but.
Okay.
We're down slump. So you know what? I hope the sequel can hold up that standard and win another award. You know.
Yeah.
So.
That'd be a big streak.
Do you have a worst movie of the year so far? And then we can go some fan questions.
Of this year?
Yeah. It will be Slenderman once you see it, but until you see it.
Honestly, I'd probably have to say Rampage. Rampage was really, really poor.
Yeah.
Other than that, Cloverfield Paradox was not good,
Right.
but I don't know if I'd put that as number one.
I guess the question is, what would you rather watch again, that or Rampage?
Probably Cloverfield, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. Briggs, you got a worst movie of the year so far? What movie you're just waiting? I feel like this year there's been a lot of disappointing movies, but I feel like last year had some really doozies with Jigsaw, Alien Covenant, For Us, Pirates.
Colin.
Definitely, I feel like there's a lot of movies that were. I feel there's bad movies this year, but I feel like last year had a lot. The quality was a lot worse.
I think because you look at Kong and Aliens, there's like two.
Alien.
They're two, series that we've seen before, things that we had looking forward to. Whereas Rampage was kind of just like,
Yeah.
ever since from its,
Inception.
it was not
We didn't
not
have
set
to-
up to succeed.
We didn't have good vibes about it from the second they said, "Oh, the people don't turn into the animals;
Yeah.
they're just animals." And they were like, "Oh, we wrote this movie off." I do want to see Skyscraper. Not seen that yet.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I feel like.
I think I could watch it on like 2 times speed with subtitles on it, so I don't have to.
I think it'd be one you'd have fun with watching it.
I was thinking
Have
of
you
some
seen
people.
Nope.
Briggs,
Blind read.
we stalled for you. Briggs, do you have an answer?
Nope.
No.
I don't think about how bad the bad movies are. They're just bad.
Your mind tries to erase.
I just
this.
kind of like they just all get clumped into one big mess of bad movies, and I don't want to think about them so much to have to rate them in order of how bad they are. But like, I don't remember how like all the bad ones. Like Rampage, I at least had fun with when I was watching. I probably wouldn't want to watch it again.
No,
but-
you could try it.
I wouldn't want to.
Go away.
Oh man. I also feel like I've done a pretty good job of avoiding a lot of bad movies that you guys have seen.
You just send us in cannon fodder.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna see that one. Well,
I don't know. Like, what else was bad?
Well, there was that Nick Cage movie that came out.
Mom and Daddy didn't see that one.
Didn't see that
Yeah, I guess because you kind of like Rampage. I guess for you, what would you
Ready
rather watch
Player
again,
One,
Rampage or
Tomb
Solo?
Raider.
Or Tomb Raider.
Tag was a disappointment for sure.
I don't think Tag was that bad, though, to be in worse
It's not
movies.
that bad, but I expect more.
Did you walk out of the theater happy?
Yeah, because you guys were disappointed. That was exactly what I expected. Because the trailers to me were funny, but I wasn't dying laughing. I was just like, this seems like a cool concept, and I like all the people in it. I wasn't expecting the next Hangover or next, Borat. I wasn't expecting, this is going to be the best comedy of the year.
Fair.
The other movie I showed, which I kind of liked, it was alright, which was Game Night. You guys should check out.
Yeah, I wanted to get around to that.
Yeah.
Jason Blakeman.
The best thing is Jesse Plemons from Black Mirror. He plays this creepy neighbor who always wants to try and get in Game Night and they won't let him. He's only in the movie for 15 minutes because he's just always popping in. He's fantastic. Nice. And yeah, he's the man. And check out, I don't know if you guys actually would probably destroy it, but Christopher Robin was legitimately, again, movie 10. It was damn good. It's magical.
I don't have deep nostalgia for Million Two, so
it's a good family lesson sort of movie. It's about appreciating life. And
I feel like it's one I need to watch on my own.
Because you'll cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'll
will
probably get way too attached to it.
No, you will cry if you have any attachment to Winnie the Pooh.
I'm like none though. I'm just a sucker for those ones.
Yeah.
he's a sucker.
You know what I'm a sucker for? People that support us on Patreon. And that's there's your, I don't do many transition leads, but I'm gonna. So, what we thought we'd do, because there's also some other sprinkle news, but American Vandal Season 2, I didn't like that trailer, so fuck that. I don't need to talk about that.
Sucks to be American Vandal Season 2.
But yeah, so there's Patreon questions that we wanted to get to. So,
We were thinking of doing it last week, but
overly long
we had a
cast.
lot of little topics that all ended up not being little topics.
Mhm.
So
We
this
had
is
a-
classic GeekVerse.
We had a lot of tangents and
Little
whatnot.
topics, big discussions.
Little people, big world.
So, I gotta give a shout out to Greg. He upped his Patreon subscription and went up to a different tier. So, thank you very much, Greg. Greg's one of our loyal supporters. He's been with us
Very
for
loyal.
quite a while. We talked to him a lot. Go follow him on Twitter. He's a good conversationalist.
Dude, his Twitter is intense. He just goes off defending all DC movies.
You
It's
know
like,
what?
and I appreciate it. He's very dedicated.
Yeah.
Like, he goes in
Wow.
on people.
But the good thing is,
And I will say,
Despite
Greg,
that-
sometimes I think you
Are wrong.
maybe try to trash Marvel a little bit in order to make DC rise up. And I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a cool play. I think you should just let them live as their own thing.
you don't have to take one thing down to raise another, right?
Right.
But
And I feel like, maybe Marvel fans have done that to DC, so I understand if you want to do it back. But don't stoop to that level.
And he continues to listen to us just trash DC all the time.
And honestly, it's through seeing his tweets that I feel a little bit bad sometimes. Because I'm every cast, like, for no particular reason, I just kind of shit on Aquaman, and I kind of feel bad about it now.
Yeah, but don't you feel
there really isn't, like, tons of weight on that. I'm kind of just
Don't you feel like you were validated, though, when we saw that trailer for you specifically? I was the person like, this trailer's gonna be great. It's like, oof, you've been saying 13% Rotten Tomatoes.
13% Rotten Tomatoes.
Well,
that was before, like, anything, so that was cool with me.
One of my favorite things during Comic-Con was Greg tweeted us, and he was like, man, do you guys love that Aquaman trailer? It's like, I looked over to Dylan, and I'm like, man, I gotta crush his spirit, because I did not, and I was wanting to. This is where, and I'll back down with Briggs, because if you really get into, if you look at the overall, we actually don't hate DC as much. We do it more for the meme, because you and Jessica, fan of Man of Steel, big fan of Man of Steel. Taylor has loved every single DC movie except for Man of Steel. I'm not a Man of Steel fan. I guess I didn't like Squad, I didn't like Justice League, but I'm a big defender of BBS. I think there's big moments in there.
I did Wonder Woman and BBS reviews. So
I loved Wonder Woman. I think that's a top 15 comic movie. And Kirkland has liked them all except for Squad, and Kyle liked. No, actually, Kyle. I think you and Kyle are the closest. Where you guys, Kyle says Wonder Woman's like a top 5 for him. So, if you really break it down, there's just like Marvel. I feel like with us with Marvel, we don't dislike any Marvel movies, but we all have those Marvel movies where we're like, oh, it was just fine or okay, like.
Yeah. I would say I dislike Dark World. So there you go.
Really, you think that's a full-on dislike Dark World?
Yeah, I think it's a bad movie.
I can jump on
Chris Hemsworth last week said the movie was meh. He legitimately said that. He's in a safe place now. But
he's in a very safe place.
Wait, what happened?
Well, someone was asking about like just the progression of Thor, and they talked about Dark World, and he said he just thought it was kind of a meh movie.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, and he's just happy to where it's going. So, and he didn't get no flack, so I imagine Feige was like, yeah, it wasn't a movie.
Well, I mean, with Batista on fire right now, like Chris Hemsworth.
Anyone could make any small comments, and it'll just go completely under.
I do for the YouTube viewers because I want at Taylor's party. I have a Drax cup like this, so I might not be able to use it much longer because Drax might not be a thing, but
no.
But yeah,
I mean, it's not like the mug disappears from existence. Like
it will snap, and then Jason's gonna come at home and take all the stuff. But
the water spills all over.
Yeah, the few things.
The ashes on the counter.
Oh god. The 2 things I'll show Greg for is 3. Support that. So that's a good thing, and he always spreads the word. Many times he'll say when there's friends talking to me, like he'll recommend us. So I feel sorry for your friends listening because they're probably like, oh, it's a great podcast.
Who the fuck?
What's this shit talking about? Fucking. I don't know. Whatever we just talked about for 40 minutes. But so
this is the first cast they listened to. What is this show?
Oh yeah, and then two. Thank you for letting me know about Brian Azzarello's next Batman run. There's a Batman run happening in comic books. It's like a kind of a one-off what-if tale. It's about what if Batman did kill the Joker and about what would happen in those weeks after to his psyche. Cool. So that's very exciting. That's not really been done before.
It's coming out.
Yeah, and I think he said in the fall at some point. Cool. So, because his profile picture right now on Twitter is the art.
And this is like a well-known comic book writer who's doing this?
So here's Catch-22. Great comic book writer. I think I gave you the book. You never read it. That book just called Joker, and it's like a short one, and it's just.
You gave me the Night Owl one. Night of the Owls.
Yeah, Night of the Owls.
And I read half of it.
Yeah, bastard. Court of Owls. Great comic. But anyway, so it's just about Johnny Frost. It's just a bodyguard of the Joker, and it's like his
what?
Johnny Frost. It's a bodyguard of the Joker. It's about his experiences with the Joker. So the Joker gets out of prison, and he's just driving to places, stuff like that.
Joker, he's always doing that, isn't he?
Yeah, there's like this iconic scene where Harley Quinn's a stripper and whatnot, and they go back into this bedroom. Well, a comic scene for me, and they make it seem really like slutty and really sexual and whatnot, and then when Johnny Frost looks in the bedroom, Joker's just in her arms crying, like sobbing and whatnot, so it shows that maybe, he's putting on this front. But anyways, great comic writer. He also wrote the Killing Joke animated movie, and he's the one that added that Batgirl stuff. So it's tough, but I like his comic work, so thank you for that, Greg, and thank you for upping your tier on Patreon. And if you don't know, if you get over Patreon, any tier, you get to ask us a question. And he's asking, reboot any TV show from your childhood. Where would it start? A continuation, a total reboot? Who would you cast? Either voice actors, live action. I will say, Greg, I don't think I have enough for cast with this because I thought shows I'd want to reboot, and lots of them would just be probably no-name people. Like childhood shows for me are not like.
Well, that's actually similar to another Patreon question we got too. Mm-hmm. Very similar.
Well, we'll say that. We're not going to put them back to back.
Well, I thought we were gonna amalgamate them, but.
Do you want to amalgamate?
Well, they're nearly the same question. One just has a little more detail on it.
Well,
Don't you think?
one specific kind of, I guess, because D.H. Yancey, shout out, you know,
What's this?
I was gonna shut something else up, but you know what? So this one was from D.H. Yancey, aka Sponge.
Sponge.
Nice name. What's an animated show from your childhood that you miss / would like to see new episodes of? So I think they're different because that's a continuation of a childhood show, and the other one is a reboot or a start over.
But it is possibly
True, but she also said animated show, so that's categories. Where
Okay.
his was just any show.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Are you ready? Or do you need me to go?
I have one.
Okay.
I have
Are they gonna work for both? That's why Dylan couldn't think of an answer for both of them, so you just want to throw them together.
Well, no, I mean, because if
Bastard.
it comes to what like animated show from my childhood that I would want, you know, them to make more episodes of, I honestly can't think of one. I went through and I was like all over Google trying to look up all these shows, getting some mad nostalgia, and I was like, I'm happy with where these shows existed in my life, and I feel like if more episodes came out, I don't know, there's a big chance it's a flop. And really, I don't think I need to see them because I don't even remember the last episode of like The Weekenders or something. I have no idea how that show ended. I just watched
They
a
all
lot.
died.
That's fucking dark, man.
Heroin in the bathroom.
Yeah, like I don't know.
You like The Weekenders? Were you a Recess kid as
I
well?
love Recess.
Recess fucking sucks.
Recess is amazing.
Talk about overrated.
Yes.
Overrated. That whole crew. It's not a fun.
Recess is amazing.
It's not a.
We're not gonna like my reboot answer then because it has
It's
to
not
do
a
with
funny
that one.
show at all. The characters suck.
I cannot tell you if it's funny or not because I haven't watched it in like 12 years. But that's the thing, like with all these shows, I've never gone back to rewatch any of them as an adult, really.
That's a mistake.
I don't know, is it? I think it's just the progression.
You're enjoying Spider-Man, and that's a show that was made in that
But
era.
I didn't really watch that when I was.
But
a
I'm saying
youngster.
that's a show in that era. You could watch another show from that era. and
Possibly,
you like it.
but that's different because like any of those shows, I don't remember there being like a progression throughout the shows because they just like put random episodes on, or maybe they put them in order and I just didn't watch them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of reruns, as it were, back in the TV days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I can't think of one. You know,
Okay, wow.
I loved me.
Hey Travis, I got an answer. The answer is I can't think of one.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Why'd you just
His
third
it's
person
a
just
valid answer. You know
I
why
guess
it's a
at this
valid
stage-
answer? Because
Because I don't know. I wouldn't want one. You know, I loved SpongeBob as a kid. I don't know if they still make that show, but like
I think it's still going.
see, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't. That's my life.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
I'm on the
that's
same
my-
page as Dylan Musson.
Wow.
A lot of the shows
These people pay for these questions.
A lot of things that I really enjoyed from shows, like for one that I watched all the time, Phineas and Ferb. Absolutely loved that show growing up. I remember I would get home from school at I actually don't know the timeline, but let's say I get home from school right at 4, and then I know the Phineas and Ferb episode starts at like 4:15 in some weird time. Was it right on the half an hour?
Yeah.
So I had
always
time.
said that, those quarter hours.
I had time to get home from the bus, put some popcorn on
Yo, popcorn.
in the microwave, and then as soon as I got the popcorn out of the microwave and I grabbed a glass of water and went upstairs, the show was starting in like 5 minutes every time. And I had that perfect timeline
Perfect line.
every time after school, and then I'd always watch an episode of Phineas and Ferb. Great show, but I have no drive to go back and rewatch episodes, and even if they were airing new, fresh episodes now, I probably wouldn't watch them.
Wow.
Because I think those childhood cartoons, they have a special place in your life when you're a kid. And as I grow older, I have other things that I'm interested in, and I just, even if they kept making up shows from that, like other shows that are like Kim Possible, Danny Phantom, I don't know,
Classics.
some other
All
classics, Teen Titans,
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon.
Yu-Gi-Oh, My Life with a Teenage Robot,
Inuyasha.
whole lot of wild stuff. But like I have no interest in going back, even if like they kept making stuff that, because for one it's more geared towards kids, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I can enjoy a lot of things geared towards kids, but it's just I don't have the incentive to watch that stuff as opposed to doing other things. Because as a kid, that's what you do. There's not a whole lot else going on, so you sit down and watch TV sometimes, and for like X amount of time, because there's other times where you just don't have anything else to do. But as an adult, there's always something that I can occupy myself with that I'd rather be doing than watching that. That being said, though, I mean, I don't know if this is a childhood thing, but Futurama.
Yeah, I
wouldn't want to
didn't really
necessarily
watch it when I was younger.
I feel like I got more into like early high school sort of thing. Like I remember early high school, when all of it was on Netflix, I watched through everything start to finish.
Yeah.
I was like every night I'm watching at least 1 or 2 episodes. I think we were doing it around the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
But
I would love for that.
I know I watched Futurama before that,
Mm-hmm.
on and off, and I absolutely loved it. And then it was great because it's all just reruns when you're just watching things on TV as they're on.
Uh-huh.
So it's great to kind of have a way to watch that all the way through. But even then, like I wouldn't want a continuation of the story or a reboot. I'd want just kind of like spin-off stuff with fun little things, episodic things, or like more movies like they did, something like that. But I'd only want like a few more things. Like I wouldn't ask for like a full new like episode every week sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a tough question, but I think I'm kind of, yeah, I that's it pretty much. I don't know.
I'm happy with where those shows had a place in my life, you know, and I still love and appreciate them.
I'm the exact opposite. I have gone back and watched all these most of the childhood shows I've liked because one, I think for the most part the ones I like still hold some quality, so that's good. And then two, it's because it also does have a sense of nostalgia and brings you back to those times. So for me, I guess my two answers I can be specifically for the animated one, I'm going to go Batman the Animated Series every time because back then they didn't end shows. And then even I would do Spider-Man as well. They didn't end shows with the idea of, oh, this is the full-on finale. We're never doing it again. It's just that was the end of that season. And then there's some stuff tied up, but I'd like it to be. I would like a full-on, especially with Batman, a full-on ending, whether it's with that or Batman Beyond. People know Justice League Unlimited. They did some weird stuff with Terry and him being Batman's son, and that's super lame. So I really want that, and yeah, I watched those. I watched the X-Men series. I watched Freaky Stories, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and Goosebumps, and that's the reboot I would want is Goosebumps because that's why I said Greg. I couldn't give you the cast because they're just a bunch of random kids. Like Ryan Gosling was in a Goosebumps episode one time when he was like 12, you know. So just find the good young actors out there and put them in. I want that because I love anthology horror series and movies. I love just the little small tales you can do. They don't have to be interconnected like a Trick or Treat, but I'm a big fan of that stuff. Goosebumps is one of my all-time favorite shows. I even now can watch it. And yeah, it's cheesy and it is kiddie, but I still enjoy the hell out of it. That's the difference where it's not a time and place in my life. I can watch it and be like, oh man, I've watched this too many times. I should watch a new show. But you know, I'm watching Batman Beyond again because that show's so fucking good. So it would be Goosebumps, especially because the movies are complete garbage right now. One, not a big fan of Jack Black, so when they cast him, it's just because total miscast. R.L. Stine does not act like that, so it's super weird. And two, it's just I don't like it's. I don't know. I guess maybe it's supposed to be this generation's of Kitty, but I just feel like the story is just super uninspiring, and it's just like a bunch of monsters together. And especially the sequel. This sequel, I cannot wait to review because I imagine I'm gonna just rip this new movie a hole because I hate that like this. The idea for the movie sequel is like, oh, this is a story that R.L. Stine never wrote, and it's a secret story. So it's like, oh, so you're telling me there's a bunch of monsters and characters I have no, like, love or attraction to, you know? That was at least a passable thing about the first one was like, okay, we'll put them all together. Cool things I like, nostalgia from my childhood. But I don't want to see monsters that aren't from Goosebumps. That's just not Goosebumps. They're just using the name to try to cash in, so...
Fair enough.
So yeah, I'd bring back Batman and I'd reboot the fuck out of Goosebumps, and whether that's doing the old episodes with a new filter or there's a lot of new books, just do them. You know, I'm not excited for Goosebumps. I'm pretty mad. That's why I do want to do a retro because I love that passion. I think I might be the biggest Goosebumps fan in the world. I think I could say that.
Really?
I don't think as far as I could
until you go on that trivia show like the 5 other guys.
That's the problem. I don't think trivia. I just think like my love for it. I had multiple birthday cakes as a kid growing up with Goosebumps. I still have a Goosebumps blanket. You can watch as you walk out. That's Izzy's, my dog's blanket now. I won't.
I was more into the books. I think.
I really like the books, but I just don't like books in general. I really like the Choose Your Own Adventure books. So I was a big fan of that.
So did you ever read those Animorph books?
I
read 2 of them. I remember
2
vividly
taking them out from the school library, and
Scholastic
they were
Book
just
Fair.
absolutely wild.
And then what was I gonna say? Oh, and then I in elementary school made people refer to me as Slappy for a time being. As an
That's fucking weird.
It definitely is, but they were into it, so
They were into it.
yeah.
you answered the reboot question and that. And
Answer them both, yeah.
So I thought about the reboot because even though I wouldn't want one, I still thought of an answer for this one. And I think it'd be fun to have a reboot of Recess, and I know Travis. Recess is stupid. And maybe it is. Like I said, I haven't watched it in years, so I mean maybe it sucks. I don't know. But well, actually, when's the last time you watched Recess, Travis?
I'd say
you were just like watching as a kid. You're like, why is no one named Slappy? I'm not watching this.
No,
shit.
I say probably. I didn't like it as a kid at all. It was a show. It was this block of I can't remember what it was, but it was them, Proud Family. I think Kim Possible and
Proud Family was not so great.
Big fan of Proud Family, full show. There was 4 shows. I remember liking them all, except Recess was always in the middle of one of the shows I liked.
Kim Possible was in that block as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. Kim Possible, Proud Family, Recess, and maybe I'll look it up. Because what channel was that on? Just Disney Channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was always in the middle of the shows I liked, so I couldn't ever just watch it and then tune out.
Family Channel before it was like all like live action shows.
So that's what it was. It was always in the middle of a chunk that I liked, and I hated that. I didn't like the characters. I didn't find them funny, and
that's fair.
Yes.
I think what I like about it is it was just a full kingdom, There was King Bob, and there was like this girl who was just always on the swings. There was Upside Down, like all these people are just crazy, like random, like little one-off traits to them. But I know
you always found someone there's always some person you.
Yeah, there was the guy who was like always like selling stuff out of his trench coat. He's just like this kid in elementary school who's like selling drugs and stuff. It's a weird story.
It wouldn't fly today.
And you have Randall, who's like essentially like Randall from Monsters Inc. Like they're just the same guy, just some slimy guy with poor posture who's always ratting people out. Dude, I have fond memories of that show. And so I was thinking of a reboot. I think what you do is you take the main squad, and we're gonna go live action on this one just because it's fun.
Oof.
And we're gonna put them as like 20-something, maybe like early 30s. We're gonna put them as like early 30s. And so the movie here, it's a movie instead of a TV show. And what you do
now we're just really following this up wild.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Anyway, so as the movie starts, it kind of goes from like character to character, and they're all like living their own life. Like maybe I don't know if they keep in touch. We'll find out later in the story. But for right now, it's just like all of their daily lives.
Is this becoming a plot of it?
I was just gonna say, and then Pennywise comes.
It is very close to the plot of it, but that's all I got for you folks.
It's hot right now.
This is why none of my screenplays have been bought by major directors. So anyway, it goes from kid to kid. You see their life. So it has like TJ, and he's like working in like an office building, and like he's just filing some report or something. His boss come up and like just like starts yelling him off for like forgetting a hyphen in this report, and he's just like really pissed off. He's like, this is just stupid. And then it goes to like Gretchen, and she like works at the zoo or something, and like an elephant like shits on her head. I don't know, just like something really bad. Maybe I don't know what Gus's thing would be. I think Spinelli is like hard into drugs, like she's living on like a street corner or something. Like,
well, it's gonna be on ABC Kids again.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't remember like any of these kids
characters,
but I'm very impressed that you do.
This is just the main cast. I love this show. This is a good show. How can you not remember the name Spinelli? It's a great name.
I remember it now, but I couldn't put it. I feel like I haven't the picture of what she might look like, but I have no
She's
idea.
the girl with like the pigtail thing.
Oh, I was
like
right.
the toque.
Holy shit, I was right.
And TJ's like the kid who has like the green coat. He's like the main one. He's got the backwards
Yeah,
hat
of
on.
course, yeah.
There's Mikey, who's like the big guy.
Yeah.
There's Gus, who's like the little nerd guy with the glasses.
Okay.
And you got Vince, who's like the basketball star. And then
Mm.
Gretchen's like the nerd. Anyway, so they're all off doing their thing. Like maybe Vince, he's like on a basketball team, but like they just broke the record for like biggest losing streak of all time or something. Like none of them are enjoying their current lives, and so they're like they have this thought of like, you know what, we should bring Recess back. And so the plot of this movie is like them like trying to bring Recess into like the adult world. So like, this would reduce like the stress and general unhappiness of people because
15-minute smoke breaks, but
yeah, but they're like jungle gyms, and like you see like what King Bob's up to, and he's like running some like conglomerate like.
And is this gonna be like the rest of the normal people in the world are gonna eventually be like, yeah, we're for this, they're gonna be like, what are these fucking weirdos doing? Like while they're watching them outside during.
I feel like we have like 30.
I feel like the movie starts quite dark, obviously, but I think it becomes a feel-good movie, and so like. and I think it should be maybe a little cheesy, not too cheesy, but just like Tarantino level cheese,
Okay.
you know, or like Steely
So
Dan level
Tarantino's
cheese.
making this movie.
If Tarantino made this movie, I would be hella down.
He has 2 movies left to make, and one of them's gonna be the Recess reboot.
I can't wait. And so generally I thought of some
You put
basic.
on this.
Yeah, well, I tried to, and I'm sorry. I thought long and hard about what animated show would I want to continue on, and the best answer I could come up with is that I don't want one. So I'm sorry that that's not as fun of an answer, but like that is honestly like what I would
He
want.
texted me, he said, "You don't pay me enough to answer this question." And that was it.
That is what I said. Like, I get paid $0. I'm gonna get paid $1, and
Yeah.
Travis was like, nope.
I tried
one time only.
I really tried.
Just give me $1, man. I'm gonna take the bus home.
Ideal.
So I think Kristen Ritter would be cast.
He's casting this thing
as the perfect
Oh,
Spinelli. I think she fits.
Yep.
And like she's obviously she can act as a druggie.
Let me pull the cast here, which I also found out the other show that I was thinking was Doug. I was a big Doug fan.
Doug.
Yeah, Doug. He's like, he had the green tank top. He's very like stickman sort of. Let me pull the name.
I have no idea what that is.
He created Fun Day.
He created Fun Day?
Yeah.
What do you mean by created Fun Day?
No, like there was a day he created that was like Fun Day.
Oh yeah, I never watched that
Oh
show.
yeah, no, neither did
He got his own movie. Recess didn't get
No.
Anyways, continue.
Recess has been lost to the annals of time. I would cast Jonah Hill as Mikey.
Yeah. Okay. He's lost a lot of weight, so
He'd need to put some more weight on for the role.
Oh,
but
so-
he would do it because
You know that hard
it's a
work?
big acting role.
all that hard work we've been doing for years, which also showed, because I keep forgetting to put this in the group chat, there is a show coming out September 21st on Netflix, a 10-episode
Maniac?
series. What?
Maniac?
Yeah, of Emma Stone and Jonah Hill. It's a TV show
Who's
on
Emma Stone?
Netflix. Who are you talking about? No.
Who are you talking about?
Yes, Emma Stone and Jonah Hill.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, it's been a long day, but I broke down muscle. But go watch it. I think I'm gonna maybe some other people will join me on a review.
That reaction was so genuine. Like for a second, you're like, "Wait, who's?"
Because I forgot this conversation. I forgot the conversation was Jonah Hill was the starting point. So when he threw in Emma Stone, I was like, yeah, how did she get this conversation?
Yeah.
Like, all right, Jonah Hill. But, so watch that. Carrie Fukunaga, 10-episode series coming on Netflix. I'm gonna watch that.
I would
Probably review
cast
it.
Emma Stone as Gretchen.
Okay. So Emma Stone and Gretchen, so they're both in it. The super bad man people, Jonah Hill and
They are.
Yeah.
This one breaks this. I was kind of going for that same age group, but this one totally breaks it. I put Steve Buscemi as Randall.
I knew you'd
He'd be the
Dude,
perfect.
I feel like you put Steve Buscemi in every fancy cast.
I tried to. I put all the cast from Big Lebowski into every other movie.
And you can de-age him now. We have the technology.
We have the technology. I'd love to see a de-aged Buscemi, from like Reservoir Dogs, that kind of era.
Mr. Pink.
Mr. Stink.
That's what they call. No, I'm not gonna continue.
I would
You
put probably put I think I'd put Michael B. Jordan as Vince.
You have to. He's hot right now.
He's hot right now.
It's either him or John Boyega. Those are the two hottest acts right now. Star Wars, Black Panther. Come on now.
Now who do I got left? We
They're
got
just fucking cool as ice.
TJ.
We got TJ and we got Gus. Do you guys have any inclination on who this would be?
You
Ryan
could.
Gosling as TJ.
No.
I was thinking more here Gus. I think he could pull off a Gus.
With the
I
glasses?
I think he kind of looks like Gus. A little
I
bit.
think you go for just
Sure.
the full-on super bad comeback and just go Michael Cera and just
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
team
I
him
guess
with
that
Emma
would be-
Stone.
He's not really
Jonah
doing that
Hill.
anymore, but I think he would do it for the fans.
I think TJ.
That one has to be the
I-
most important because he's your star.
I would
He's your
almost
lead.
do another de-aging Steve Buscemi, same thing out of age, but I'm gonna go Brad Pitt because
yes.
you need a guy who's like
Yes.
the cool guy, but he's also really down to earth. Brad Pitt is that where George Clooney, look at him, he's cooler than all of us. You can never have a conversation with him. He's just too sly. But Brad Pitt, you could like get wings with
He
him.
could be cooler.
Yeah. Like, but Brad Pitt, you'd watch any football game, anything like that. Like he did a fucking lame ass but made it cool Deadpool 2 cameo. You know, like on the surface that cameo is nothing, but he came in for a day and did that. I think he has that right mystique to be TJ. Like, think Fight Club. Have you ever seen Fight Club?
No.
You need to see Fight Club.
Hey, you know the first movie.
Easily top 10 movie. But yeah, I'm going Brad Pitt.
No, that's a movie I need to watch. But
do you know any?
I've actually been catching up on all the Tarantino movies I've missed. I just have to watch Jackie Brown.
I'm kind of mad that he's done this because he's known that I said at some point we're gonna do a Tarantino.
I would love to watch him again.
Okay, we will. Yeah, Jackie Brown's my least favorite. So heads up.
What do you think of Death Proof? I really like Death Proof.
I really do. People, I think, shit on it too much for it. Everyone calls it his worst film.
Really?
Oh yeah, people deliberately because they say he was trying to make it campy, but he went too far. And I think I understand people's problems with the pacing of that movie, of all the girls dying, and there's just it's the same movie over again.
Spoiler.
It's been out literally 10 years.
He hasn't seen it.
Fuck you,
you're not gonna. If you haven't seen it by now, sorry.
I'm gonna see it.
Okay, well, you'll forget about by time. I think I understand the pacing, but Kurt Russell in that movie is so damn good.
Amazing.
Like it's one of Tarantino's.
I don't know. I love the idea of what the, like it's
Yeah.
kind of just split into two sections, really, like right in the middle. And
I think people like that because
love
they feel like the second part is just the first part over again, and because it's
But
girls,
it's
it's the medium. I agree with you, but I'm saying if you look, lots of people say.
I can't wait to see this retro.
Yeah.
I love Death
We're
Proof.
gonna do it probably for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I'm so excited for. Brad Pitt,
please
Leo
do.
in a movie.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And you really like Reservoir Dogs
That's
too,
the
don't you?
name for
The movie, yeah.
the Manson thing.
Yeah, Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be amazing.
So
You
Tarantino
really
directed-
like Reservoir Dogs, right? You're a big fan, aren't you?
I'm a big fan of all of his. Like he's one of those. That's why he is like. I know it is such like a. Saying Nolan or Christopher, saying Christopher Nolan or Tarantino's most basic bitch like film answer, like, oh, of course that's your favorite director, but it's a reason. Though I don't dislike any of their movies.
You're both very creative.
Yeah, so that's why I think for me those I think Reservoir Dogs would be my third favorite.
I really liked parts of it, but I wasn't consistently loving it.
I can see that. I just love the concept. I love the one room approach. I love the characters. I think it's my favorite Steve Buscemi role of all time.
It was really
Such a little slime ball in there.
I love that the opening scene, just them all at breakfast. So amazing.
So good. I love what happens to Ruff's character as a cop. He makes a fatal choice that is. It syncs with you. It's a fun movie, and then when they're have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
No.
Oh,
Reservoir Dogs. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when Tim Roth is a cop and this lady is a child, and he shoots the lady with the child and kills her to take a car, and he just stops for a second and realizes what he's done, and you just see like his entire existence.
He does
crash
really
in
good
him.
in that movie. As well.
Yeah, like Tim Roth is not enough, but yeah, for me the top three is Pulp Fiction, Pulp Fiction, Django, and Reservoir Dogs. Django sometimes could be close to number one. It's the performances. Leo is.
I've only seen Django once. I gotta watch it again to be
Yeah.
definitive on where it would be.
Leo.
I would
should
definitely
be
put Pulp Fiction first.
Yeah.
Followed by Inglourious Bastards. And honestly, I love Death Proof. I might sneak it into like that.
Wow, you gotta watch Django.
I feel like Django is above it, but it's like number 4. It's probably creeping in that number 4.
Leo's the biggest piece of shit in any Hollywood movie. In that movie,
Yeah.
he's fantastic. But what was the other? Inglourious Bastards I really like, but I think I'm not the biggest fan of the French girl's plot. I'm a little bored by it when I watch that movie. If the guy that took out her family, the ending result's cool that she burns down that theater and her laughing.
Yeah.
Very cinematic, but like when she has those meetings with Baron Zemo. And
I just think that movie just has like incredibly strong characters and
100%.
and writing obviously, and like Christoph Waltz is outstanding.
And
Obviously in Django, he's good.
Yeah. We should also do that too. We do superhero drafts. You talk about a superhero fatigue. I would love to do a Tarantino draft an actor you would like to see in there because I've always wanted.
I just want more Christoph Waltz, honestly.
True. He's not in the next one, and
I know,
the rumor is Sam Jackson isn't either, which would be like the first
That
one.
would
And
be
wow,
hard.
yeah, because he's filming Captain Marvel, and Spider-Man, so he might not have time.
Wow. But I mean, if you think, what is his role in Inglourious Bastards? He's just doing a voiceover for like
True.
like
So
2
maybe
seconds.
it could be that.
I think if he wants to continue that streak, if they care about that at all, I know as the film, like as watching these movies, we think it's cool, but like for them making it, they might not really care too much. But
Tarantino should just piss off all the racists and then cast him as Charles Manson, and everyone just lose their fucking minds, you know. But what was I gonna say? Shit. Oh, because I want Fassbender to be in a bigger role with him. I've always wanted Michael C. Hall from Dexter, because he can be a little kooky and creepy. I've always wanted Sean Penn, the very first man crush of all time, and Christian Bale. I've always wanted Christian
isn't
Bale.
Sean Penn in this next one? No, it's
It's Brad Pitt and Leo.
He's not one of the other guys, no.
No. I was very disappointed that Tom Cruise was rumored to be one of the roles, and I really want to see Tom Cruise in one of these. Maybe he's still in it. Maybe it's a rumor that they tried to hide. But I think the combination of Pitt and Leo.
I feel like there's not many actors that I feel like Tarantino couldn't fit a role with. I mean, you look at like Mike Myers was in Inglourious Basterds. Like he fit that role perfectly. It's like just a quick little like one scene thing.
And I guess this is we went on a complete diatribe. But that's what
I actually did want to talk about this today because I have been watching them. So this works.
The other thing is I'm excited that. I really enjoyed Hateful Eight. It's on the lower tier for me, but I still loved it. I'm glad he's doing something that's not so period piece. It is a period piece, like it's set in it's 1969, so it's not present day. But I'm happy it's not so far back like a Western or Inglourious Basterds wartime. Like I'm excited. It's like
a little more modern.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the closest he's done to Pulp Fiction since then, because this is like it's. The main plot is about an actor and his stuntman and how they get along. And I feel like that's going to be like those conversations that Vince and Jules have in Pulp Fiction. That's what that's going to be about Hollywood. And I feel like, especially with Hollywood right now, with so much going on, there's going to be a lot to say and stuff like that. So I feel like it's going to be really good. I really do hope, though, because he said he's only making 3 more movies and he's done. I hope that's a lie, but if so, because his mentality is...
Wait, 3 more? Wouldn't that make it to 11?
No, because it's this one. Sorry, I guess 3 more including this one. So Once a Time... Is it?
No, it's 2
because Hateful Eight was the 8th one, right?
Oh shit, it was. So he only has this.
And then wasn't he doing the Star Trek one?
The Star Trek one doesn't count, right?
I don't think that movie's ever gonna actually happen. But if he does do, it sounds too good to be true. I just feel like it's just something that was an idea.
I thought it was like a confirmed thing.
No, they're right. People are getting paid to work on it, but
you don't think it'll ever hit theaters?
Well, like you look at I know it's something for you, but like James Bond was going to production in 3 weeks. They just lost their director like just 2 days ago, and they've been paying her for the script, this and that, and then obviously a Bond movie's gonna happen, but not with that guy. With this, something could happen, and Tarantino might just end up being like a producer on it. I don't know if he'll direct it, but so I really hope he does, at least before he retires, is a movie in present day, because ever since Pulp Fiction, they've all still been kind of period piece. I guess Jackie Brown, but I'm not a big Jackie Brown fan. That's one I gotta watch again because I saw it when I was younger. I still liked it, no bad movie, but I want to do his final movie in present day. I'd love to see what Tarantino has to say on like issues going on right now. Maybe that's why he likes doing older ones, because he can have much more of a grasp of, history, right? You know how the 1969, you know everything about it. So, but I would love to see him do something present day. I guess Kill Bill counts, but Kill Bill is such like a high world.
Death Proof is like pretty modern.
Yeah,
although it's kind of just like a more weird cut off story.
But it is modern day, but it's supposed to be in like a movie that like has a 70s filter on, like it's like a grindhouse type of movie, like with the cigarette burns, everything like that. So Kill Bill I don't really count because it's such in like this weird heightened reality. And how do you feel about Kill Bill?
I think Kill Bill Volume 2 is my least favorite Tarantino movie.
Fair enough.
But I really like the first one.
Yeah.
I think it's. I know. We were gonna watch this the other day, and we ended up watching Infinity War, but I ended up watching it later.
Had a good time with Infinity War.
I really liked O-Ren, the character of O-Ren in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
And I didn't find that same kind of appeal with the other characters Part 2 focuses on. So yeah, I think Volume 2 would be my least favorite of the Tarantino movies. The first one I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're both in the lower tier of Tarantino for me. I like them a lot still. Like I said, all these movies I like, but
yeah, I mean Uma Thurman's amazing. Like she has such a vast array of skills. She's very, very good.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just sometimes it's the only negative I have with Django is some of the violence in that movie is a little too over the top. And maybe that's Kill Bill. It is over the top, so I kind of give it a pass. But it's just not
that's the thing, right? It's like intentional.
Yeah,
but it's still.
It's too intentional sometimes. Yeah. That's my least favorite thing with Django is if you watch again the shootout scene in the house when they capture Django, the amount of gunshots that are going off when they shoot people, like they're just exploding and there's blood just everywhere. And that would be shootout, but it's so to the over the top where it took me out of it, where it felt like it was mostly a serious movie and then it turned into GTA and I was like, whoa, this was
the same thing in Kill Bill, really.
Yeah, and that's why I think like Kill Bill, I don't know, and I gotta watch those again. I gotta watch the ones I like less again, just because to try to fall in love with them. I appreciate all of them. I would take him and Nolan all the time.
Yeah, I mean obviously, there's tons of little details throughout his movies, and just like the shots alone, he does a lot of really, really unique things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Breeze, you got anything else to add on Tarantino before we move on?
Great guy.
Well, we talked about, so there you go, Tarantino's directing a Recess movie, and we just cast it. Talking about movies we love, so this comes from a new patron, I always say Patreon, but Patreon, Ben Petrilla.
Namaste.
I think I'm saying your name right, but thank you very much.
Petrilla.
I had a conversation with him, he said he's been listening for a while, so thank you very much. So he threw 2 questions, one I was going to throw out because I wasn't sure how to do it because he said, what would you recommend that's streaming right now? So what I was going to say after we answer the whole break question, I was going to open up Netflix on my computer and we would just look at maybe recommend and just throw out what we would like because I don't know how to tackle that question, but I thought it was kind of a fun way.
I would say I'm 2 or 3 episodes into Disenchantment, whatever it's called.
Not digging it?
Oh, you're watching more.
I watched another episode or 2. I think I might stop there.
You can
It's
tell.
not so great.
You can tell by Dylan's tone of voice if he likes something.
I wear my sleeve. What can I say?
But what he did ask is a question I know we for sure can answer. What do you feel is your most overrated video game or movie? Obviously, something that gets a lot of praise by a lot of people, maybe even your friend. I have.
Maybe your friend.
I don't know. Fools for fools. Yeah. So where do you guys want to go? I don't think I have much for games. Games for me, it's always gonna be Halo. Just because I'm never a fan, but it's just not my genre.
So mine is one that I recently played. Recently on the PS4, they re-released a game that came out.
This shouldn't count.
You don't know what I'm gonna say because you think I'm saying like Detroit or some shit. What do you think I'm saying?
No, I know what you're gonna say now. At first, I thought you were saying Last of Us.
No.
And I was like, you haven't even got halfway point. You can't say that. I know exactly what you're saying now.
Yeah. So I think the most overrated game of all time that I've experienced in my life is Shadow of the Colossus.
Of your life? Wow.
Yeah, it really is. This is a game that I, for years and years and years, have been hearing about and heard nothing but good things. That it was, creative and innovative and just a beautiful experience. And even for years I've like listened to the soundtrack on YouTube and like even just got really attached to the soundtrack. And
you listen to the soundtrack without even the game.
I listen to a lot of video game soundtracks.
That's strange to me. I could never listen to a score of a movie if I've not seen the movie.
Okay.
Just throwing it out.
Anyway, so on the PS4, this year they re-released Shadow of the Colossus, same game with updated graphics, and yeah, it is. I honestly, it's unfathomable to me like how much praise this game gets. I think part of it certainly is when this game originally came out, I could see how some of it was seen as certainly innovative at the time, but for me the game has problems in pretty much every single department. Like one, it doesn't have really any story or gameplay has very basic level gameplay and never really goes anywhere with it, and it doesn't have a story. So and part of the game is that it's meant to be like one of those experiential sort of games. But I think within that, I think they really should have gone with that idea, and I think there's so many ways that it failed in even doing that, because instead what it does is it makes you replay a ton of content because there really isn't all that much content in the game. So instead what they do is they bog it down and add hours on the game by making you redo stuff over and over again. You have to repeat the same pathway. You have to do the same fights over and over again. They never change. Eventually you can get some items in the game, not on your first playthrough also. It's like later runs that you can get items. The items don't really add like much at all to the gameplay at all. So it's just the same thing over and over again. And it's just lacking like really any depth. It bothers me so much. It was a game I've always been looking forward to play and super excited to play. So when I finally got to it and it had quite literally nothing to it, it stung. It stung big time.
And you paid like $60, right?
I think it was a $40 game.
It was a $40 game.
I don't think it was a full price game, which is good because there really is very little content to it. So it's not really like, even with all the bogged down and repeat content they do, the first playthrough of the game only takes about 8 hours, or at least it only took about 8 hours for me. But yeah, I think that because essentially through the game you go and you fight all these different colossi, and then you get taken back to like the main area, and then you go find the next one. But I think if it was supposed to be like an experience-based game, where it's just kind of supposed to be one playthrough where you experience it at your own will. And there is a lot of themes that it does in terms of I think it really is supposed to be, about loneliness. That's kind of through the big open empty world and music. It's all like really thematic in that sense. But I think it would have been better had it just let you kind of explore this world at your own pace, and whenever you find these colossi, you can just fight them as you encounter their area. But instead, it kicks you back to the main area every time, so you have to repeat the same pathways. But the problem is there's no difficulty curve throughout the entire game, so it doesn't matter when you fight any of the colossi. You could fight, I would say maybe there's like 2 that are slightly more difficult that you encounter later, but maybe just 1. I'll just say the final boss is like more difficult than the rest.
Speaking of boss mode level 100, which I believe, remember he was a big fan of Venom during Comic-Con. He said, what are we talking about? We're talking about most overrated video games or movies right now. He's talking about Shadow of the Colossus.
I'm talking about Shadow of the Disappointment.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about right now, boss.
Yeah, I guess my final thought. Yeah, there is no difficulty curve, so the game could have easily let you explore it at your own pace and come across these areas on your own, and you progress through the game that way and just experiencing the world and taking it all in. Because you don't have difficulty curves, so you don't need to make the content in a linear order, but they did anyway. It feels like a greatly unfinished game to me. It feels like the basis for what could be a great game, but is instead just like, okay, this game's good enough, we'll send it out. And yeah, I do understand that it's like more of an art piece as opposed to like something that has impactful gameplay. But I think if that was the case, or if that was the intention, then there should have been a story, or like I was just saying, they should have incentivized not having to repeat the same content in order to make the game a full-length game, quote unquote.
Before we continue on the conversation, I want to ask you guys, how was your second viewing of Infinity War? Because I heard you snuck that.
I think I've seen it 3 or 4 times.
That was my 3rd one.
Okay. And wavering as far as like more, dislike more?
I still enjoyed it a lot.
Same. Dylan?
I was really tired. It was after our party.
I fell asleep.
So I was sleeping through some of it.
After the party last week?
Yeah.
So you watched it like 1, 2 a.m.?
No, we
Saturday
woke up
morning.
the next morning.
Oh, okay. I was like, that is...
I only had like a few hours of sleep. Anyway, I think it's a great movie. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's crazy how many characters they have. Yet they still, they don't really all get some great moments. Most of them kind of don't actually, but it's still like is a really fun as like a big Smash Bros. Like all these things are in one movie, and like it took us so long to get to this point.
Why are you speaking like that? I was gonna say, like some New Yorker newspaper. What I was gonna say is, one, I feel like they can do that because they know most of the motivation's going in, so that's good. So they don't like necessarily need moments. But 2, they said that originally, which I kind of liked, but I understood why they didn't, is Captain America in the original script. The first time you saw him was when he saved Vision in the movie. So he wasn't in any of the movie. BattleCon is going on. Vision's about to get killed, and when he's about to get killed by
when does he actually come to the movie first?
Kind of first half with the train. Remember, they throw the spear and he catches it. The train's going by, and then he walks with the Avengers music, and he walks with the shadows.
Isn't that the?
No, when he saves Vision in Wakanda.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There's part of me that would have liked it because he doesn't have much else to do in the movie. I still get why they did this one. It makes more sense, and the reason that they did that was because he's gonna have a huge story in Avengers 4. So that's the thing.
Well, that's one thing I love is even though there isn't any interaction between him and Tony Stark in this movie, I can't wait for what that moment is.
But that's what I was gonna say. The characters that don't get moments in Avengers Infinity War, I think will all get moments in the next movie. So I feel like they kind of on purpose like space that out.
We'll see.
Really, Thor's gonna have big. Like he has a big part of this one. I feel like he's gonna be a really big part.
Well, I'm saying the ones that weren't a big part will still get one.
That's what we'll have to see, like how the characters who faded away, how much role they'll have in this.
Because I feel like the only ones that faded away that didn't get huge roles were like Bucky and Black Panther. But Panther just had a movie, so he was fine. And Bucky, what's Bucky gonna do? He's a fucking guy with a metal arm,
Bucky, War Machine.
He didn't fade away though.
Didn't he?
No, he's still alive. The OGs are alive. So he'll.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess I was gonna say.
Someone has to be there.
Not Scarlet Witch. She gets
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
She's gonna get her moments.
She gets some moments.
Yeah.
I guess you're I guess you're right. Yeah.
I think they did that all intentional. But there's a part of me that would have liked, because the whole movie you would have been wondering, where is Captain America? And if you would have saved Vision like with half an hour to go, but then at the same point, in alternate universe, maybe we would have been pissed and been like, wow, he's not in this at all. So
Probably pretty excited about that.
yeah, they probably made the smart choice. But Boss Mode, I'll give you this answer. He asked, what are your thoughts on No Man's Sky? You can go back and listen. Kirkland and Dylan did a review on it. Unless you have anything more to add on it, but they did a review that's probably about over an hour.
I would say that review is a lot more positive than how I ended up feeling about the game when I had played it more. Because when we did that review, I don't know.
I think you guys put like almost like a week into it, a week and a half.
Yeah, it was more like a first impressions sort of review. And the first impressions were good, but then I had a lot of problems with it later. However, there's like tons and tons of free content they've pumped out over the last few months, and I've heard nothing but amazing things
all
of it recently.
Reviews.
I haven't played it since that stuff came out because, well, I was talking to Kirkland, and I was like, hey, Kirkland, want to play this game? And he's like, I have it on PS4, I'm going to play with my friend, I'll let you know how it is. He hasn't done that yet, so I was going to wait and see what he thought of it.
And he's never going to do that.
But yeah, I really want to go and replay it with this new content because it was a game I was always super excited for, and then eventually kind of let down. But it seems like a lot of the things problems they fixed, and just like a bunch of new stuff that I wasn't necessarily promised stuff, because there was a lot of stuff they promised that wasn't actually in the final game.
Mm-hmm.
But they fixed a lot of that, and they've added a bunch of new content. So I'm really excited to try it again. So that's where my opinion lies as of today.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Briggs, well, unless you want to shout out any overrated movie, but your movies or I don't.
Star Wars, boom, done.
Yeah.
You can't say you like the OG trilogy. What's going on?
I know, but
I think the
I
OG
would
trilogy
say I
is
separate
okay.
the OG trilogy from.
Alright, but
It's cherry picking.
Is Force Awakens overrated though now? I feel like it's gotten a right place in history. Yeah, where you have your lovers like myself.
Yeah.
And then you feel like, it's just a
right.
retread. It's nothing but the same. It's not, because it has the greatest written Star Wars character of all time, Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren.
You said it. He said it.
I said it, and just as long as JJ doesn't screw it up, there's no better written character than that character.
Well, JJ texted me. He said he's not gonna mess it up. So.
Good. I trust
That
him.
was cheap, eh? Like that.
He's just gonna take it out.
What's he gonna take out?
Kylo Ren.
Just
Okay.
they
He's just
start
gonna
off. Kylo
continue.
Ren is dead.
Oh, he's gonna take something else out.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to ruin it, so he's just gonna preserve it.
I would
He
say,
throws it in carbonate.
if before you go, if we're talking Star Wars of this generation, I feel like Force Awakens has found its place. I feel like Rogue One is the overrated movie, because we
A
are.
lot of people like that movie.
A lot of people
Really?
love that
Who are
movie,
these
and
people?
there's so many lists I see of like the best Star Wars movies that put that like number 2
Okay,
all the
probably
time, like
put Rogue
above
One there.
Empire, like.
Crazy people.
And I feel like I don't understand. I've watched that movie almost probably 10 times now. I've tried. I want to like it. Well, I watched it
Wild.
2 times in theaters. I watched it once with the commentary.
here's
I
the
watched
thing.
it a few more times, and I want to like it. Every time I want to, I still like it, but not to the level of like it is number 2, top 3. Like Force Awakens is a
Quick
fantastic.
plug, we did a review. We also did a commentary track, and in that commentary track, throughout the entire movie, it was me, Travis, and Taylor. Throughout the whole movie, I was like, Taylor, tell me cool things about this movie. Tell me what you like about this movie. And he didn't give me much.
No.
So I really did in that viewing. I was like trying to find some stuff to like, and Taylor gave me very little to nothing to grab onto. So.
But yeah, check out we did reviews, and for Rogue One, Force Awakens, and
A lot of Star Wars content on the channel.
what do we? No, we
Cantina.
haven't done Last Jedi yet. Last Jedi is next. But we did the commentary tracks, and you can see between you can see the whole evolution. Dylan and Tyler, first review, loved it, all in the 9s, and then something happened at some point. They
watched it.
They were
You said it.
they were skewed by the online, the what do they call peer pressure to dislike.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
masterpiece
I saw
of
these
the
people
movie.
on Twitter saying stuff, and I was like, you know what, my opinion changes because these people said it.
That's what they told me. They're
Not
like,
based on my
Travis,
own
we're gonna
thoughts.
start saying what these people say. But Tyler Riggs, what is your overrated game or movie for yourself personally?
As far as games go, I don't think I have one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think
I stay away from games
when
that I
I
don't think
buy
I like.
games, I like do a very thorough vetting process before I buy games. So I can't remember.
I thought Years of Praise was a good motivator for Shadow Colossus, but anyway. Sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and honestly, I'm kind of glad I probably would have got it too, but I'm kind
Please
of
don't.
glad I didn't.
Please don't.
Yeah, but
Save
I also
yourself.
didn't have a PlayStation, so.
Yeah.
I feel like that saved me quite a bit of grief.
I'm not gonna lend you my PlayStation to try it.
Yeah, I'm on Briggs' bandwagon. I wait for reviews. I talk to people unless it's something like a Spider-Man coming up, a Batman, where I just have like a personal investment and I'll take the risk. I usually don't get it. Like I said, I think the only one for me was Halo because before I had my Halo hate, just everyone was talking about it. Go to a birthday party and just like it's just a game where you shoot people. There's not much going on here. So I'm with you on the video games. I'm the exact same way. Lots of homework you gotta do.
Lots of homework.
I mean, yeah. As far as games that I've actually bought and played, I mean, I could say like Call of Duty games, but the only ones I've played I actually really enjoyed, and I stopped buying them after I stopped liking them.
True.
And like there are games that I bought that I didn't really like, but I mean, they weren't like overrated to the degree that I was like felt like there was no way they're gonna be bad.
Sneaking.
So yeah.
We're playing that game all 24 hours.
You got that game went on way too long.
No, we won't
Because
play
if you
that.
play that game for 2 minutes, it goes on too long.
Yeah, we won't
It's
play
such
that.
a stupid game.
We won't play that again. But we
an
gotta,
hour.
I don't know at all.
we all took turns. That's why we gotta play the. They have Mario Kart. We'll play that one this year where you can drive as a king and stuff like that.
That sounds much better.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Sounds much worse.
As far as movies go, I mean, I don't follow as much of the like hype around around movies and stuff. So
I can tell you though.
as far as ones that I haven't liked that are actually overrated, or that are like very hyped, I probably wouldn't be able to say which ones because I don't know if they're super hyped or not. I just know that I didn't like them.
You could throw on TV as well.
Yeah.
Or not.
I don't know.
Swing and a miss for Charles.
I don't know.
You just stay away
TV
from
is tough
stuff
for me.
overall that's rated really high, and if not, then you like it.
What?
It sounds like the stuff that's rated very high by the general populace, you just like it, or you know it's not for you, so you just stay away. You don't know.
Yeah. I like to thoroughly vet things before I invest my time.
Thoroughly.
Except for some anime. Sometimes I just watch and I'm like, nah, this is bad, but oh well.
Was that your full-on answer there?
Yep.
Okay, so I was just getting a nice refresher look at the IMDb top 25 or top 250. I love Infinity War is not the 32 greatest film of all time, by the way, but IMDb it's
By
a
the
joke.
way,
That's
we got
joke.
facts here.
It's actually the 31st.
It's a joke. This
Come
one
on.
I've mentioned a little bit, but this has skewed my viewing habits tremendously because like I said, probably high school, that's when I took film class. I'm getting into film. I want to do film. I still want to do this career. I want to write. I want to direct. So I have a passion for
Hire
film.
this man. He will get shit done.
I gotta get time. Yeah. If I don't have a job, I get lots of done. But between job, podcast, and life, writing is. I've actually been back to writing this month though, so I've been plugging away. So my goal is to, after we have a mystery party coming up on my birthday, and I got another event, and then my goal is now the rest of 2018 is to fucking write away and try to share the load and some stuff and podcast wise. But anyways, so this movie I've heard about. All time. One of the greatest movies of all time. It's #1 IMDb, and people still go on and on and on about just like, oh, but this movie's the best. This movie is the greatest. Shawshank Redemption. I've never understood it. It's a very good movie, and not that I don't understand it. It's not that I don't understand the themes of hope and prison and all that. I fucking get it. Tim Robbins is great. Morgan Freeman's great. I just watched it, and then not just like now, but just like when I watched it ended, I just went, meh. And like, there's so many lists out there. It is the most popular film to say this is the greatest film made of all time. It's based on.
It is
a very common one.
It's in your top 10.
I put it in my top 10.
The guy who doesn't watch any movies puts fucking Shawshank in
I
there.
feel like it's a very common one for it to be in people's like best movies of all time. Like a lot of people.
And it's ridiculous because it's just a basic bitch born ass movie. It's not that like I'm being hyperbolic to prove my point. It's still like a solid, probably like 80% movie. It's a solid B plus, maybe even A. But I don't think it deserves.
Was it in your top 20?
It's not in my top 50.
Wow.
I put Brendan Fraser's The Mummy before I put Shawshank.
Wow, this guy's got bias.
I have different lists. If there's
You've never been to prison. You don't get it, Travis.
If there's a best, then yes, it makes my top 50. But if it's my favorite, it's not even top. It's probably not even top 200.
Oh, well, that enters subjective territory.
Yeah, but best it could be in top 50. It's very well written, very well directed, very edited well, well acted. It reminds me of a movie you guys probably haven't seen it, of Spotlight. It's a movie that's just like it's a movie. It's made crisply. It's this and that. But for me, the content is just kind of dull and boring, and I wasn't into it. I like stuff with a bit more grip. And to me, the characters, they represent hope, but the characters themselves aren't actually that interesting. I've said this on cast. I'm a character-driven guy. That's why Pulp Fiction is my favorite non-comic book film of all time, because every character that's in that movie has a distinct personality and a motive, and they are unique in every way. That's why GTA is my favorite gaming franchise, because that's very much like Pulp Fiction, right? You bump these side characters who will talk to you for like 30 seconds, but you know everything about them and their personality. That's what I like. So nothing with Shawshank has ever floated my boat, and anytime someone says that's not in the top 10, but if they say it's their favorite, the best movie ever made, I write that person off a lot. Taking the because sometimes I feel like it's the people that have not seen that many movies, and that's why when you said that,
like, because everyone says Shawshank Redemption, they watch Shawshank.
They saw it, like, yeah, it's great, but it's like, yeah, but if you go on this IMDb, like The Godfather 1 and 2 are miles fucking better than, they should not be fucking below Shawshank. Number 4, Dark Knight, great. Schindler's List, very crushing, great movie with so much emotion. Lord of the Rings, Pulp Fiction, Good Bad Ugly, Fight Club. And this is why with Forrest Gump is on the list now. Also, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Watch the movie you have on. Jack Nicholson is the fucking GOAT. Forrest Gump I saw for the first time 2 years ago, because after Shawshank, I was scared to watch any movie now that people praise a lot that I had not seen, because I was worried that I was gonna watch it and be like, meh, didn't like it. Because now after that, it was like these movies that people would say was the best of. I'd go into it with such high expectations. Forrest Gump didn't have that. I really enjoyed Forrest Gump. I quite liked that movie, but Shawshank for a while it made me stop watching some movies, because I was like, oh, the hype is too real. I'm going to be disappointed, and I don't want to be disappointed, but yeah. Fuck Shawshank. And you know what? I got to watch it again, because it's been a good minute. I've hated on it for quite a while. I think I haven't seen it in a good 3 to 4 years. So maybe I should watch it now, since we've been reviewing movies. And
let's watch it sometime. I'll be down to rewatch it.
Stephen King retro?
Steven.
That means we got to watch the It TV show again.
The TV show? The movie?
Oh. Yeah, the TV movie.
No.
3-hour one.
I don't really need to see that.
Great. John Ritter.
I'll watch that one on 5 times speed.
I've always wanted to do, who knows, this is a podcast that would have to happen a long time, but I've always wanted to do the IMDb top 250 and start and watch them all. Some movies we could skip because we've done them before, Dark Knight and whatnot, but...
Conveniently, one right there.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is there.
Lord of the Rings will get there soon.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction.
When does that show come out? I forget.
I think they said 2019. They're aiming for, but Silence of the Lambs. Have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
No, I haven't seen any of these movies.
Usual Suspects?
Because they're considered. Okay, so here's the funny one. I recently watched Spirited Away for the first time. We couldn't get the one with the
subs.
The subs.
Yeah.
Just was not working on Plex at all. So we watched it with the dubs, and I didn't like it. And unfortunately it soured I feel like that really is responsible for me for like the souring how I felt about the movie, because I did not enjoy it. So I want to rewatch it with the subs, and because I think it's got some cool ideas, but I just could not get into it at all.
The last movie in the top, so 250s by IMDb, they're very fraudulent.
Incredibles 2 isn't there? You're fucking stupid.
Yeah, 250 is Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse Black Pearl, which is actually a great movie, but it's quite fraudulent, because I do remember when Dark Knight came out, everyone flooded The Godfather and Godfather Part 1 and gave it 1, so Dark Knight could be number 1 for a while. And I actually think that's why Shawshank's up there. So, but yeah, one day I've always... Who
are Shawshank conspirators? Who are these people?
They're people that are
like,
still
I don't
win the
picture
Oscar.
Okay.
Because I was very mad. The same year it was Shawshank, Pulp Fiction, and Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump won the Oscar, and I like Forrest Gump, but nothing should win over Pulp Fiction.
That's crazy. Well, what year was that again?
All 1994. All 3.
But IMDb wasn't even popping back then. You know?
But they're still mad doing the Oscar.
They're still mad. Get over it, people. Who cares? Jesus.
Well, there we go. We got some Patreon questions. Anything you guys want to add or whatnot? Or should we get out of here?
I feel like it's something very
what
pressing.
about the streaming stuff on Netflix? I don't think we...
oh yeah, let me pull Netflix quickly. Boss Mode, though, yes. What is your favorite movie so far in 2018? Go back to the beginning of this podcast. We all answer that, but it's Infinity War. Pretty easy.
That would probably be my favorite, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that and Christopher Robin and Black Panther. It's a 3-way tie. Deadpool is still 10/10, but it's still like...
I would say Infinity War for myself.
Slightly smaller 10.
Yeah.
What has come out since Ant-Man? Nothing, right?
Christopher Robin. Great movie.
But nothing that we've done a review for, right?
Christopher
Because I have a list of all the movies I've seen this year. I feel like I'm missing a bunch. Or maybe I don't know. Anyway.
No, because there was E3 and Comic-Con, so we did a lot of podcasting, but it just wasn't about stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
true.
Let me pull up. Yeah, I'm getting Netflix right now. I'm gonna pull up the just the recommended for me.
Because I feel like this time last year had a lot of bangers that weren't just comic book movies. Don't you think? Like we had, you know, I know you didn't love Apes. We had Apes.
I know. I gave
Was
Apes
Apes
a 9.5 out of 10. Don't be like
Okay, we'll move on.
Apes was last year.
Last year, I feel like
Apes
I really liked Baby Driver. We had, we had Dunkirk.
He's just sabotaging me by
Okay.
saying I didn't like it. I
Get
gave him
Out.
9.5 out of 10. That's a fucking high mark.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
I feel like they've taken out the recommend for you section on Netflix.
Recommend for you.
It's not popping up for me.
Haven't they? Isn't that like a thing? Well, I've heard Bright is really good. You can check.
You've heard that's good?
No.
It's not awful.
That's just a
It
blatant
became a
disrespect.
popular movie to hate on, but it's not terrible, but it's not good.
If you want to experience it.
If you want to experience it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do this now.
I
because
guess I could say for overrated things, Altered Carbon.
you've not. Why overrated? You haven't
I
finished
know,
it.
because honestly, because like the most I hear about movie praises is you. And you
That's a good
praised it a lot and said I should watch it.
You guys gonna watch
I
it?
think you
It's
got to
just a
episode
blur.
It's
3, and I
also
did warn you. I said it doesn't kick into the
Yeah.
great stats to episode 5. And Anthony Mackie's gonna be next year.
Anthony Mackie.
So this is completely off topic, but I had a dream the other day
Oh no.
about is the next Smash Direct and what characters they're gonna add in the next in Smash Ultimate.
Oh.
You saw it. I put it in our Facebook group chat. One of them is Dry Bones, and it just got me thinking of how cool Dry Bones would be as like a Yoshi kind of. I mean, they're doing a lot of the Echo Fighter like clone sort of thing. So you could like base it off of Yoshi and then give him some other unique stuff. There was also some other. It was a Mario character in the dream, but I can't remember who it was, and I remember like at the time being like, what is this character? I don't think it's actually a Mario character. I don't think it exists at all. I think it was just some strange corrupted dream inception bullshit. And the other one was Yugi, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugimoto. So that could be fun. There's a lot of room for a fun moveset with that. Like each move you could like summon a different creature or something.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
You'd be like the Pokemon trainer, bro.
Oh shit.
I'll let them
That'd be
put Yugi in if that means they take out every.
sick. You're getting
Fire
Banjo.
Emblem
You're
character.
getting Banjo.
I'm not getting Banjo.
You're
You
getting
don't know
Banjo.
that.
I think there's a high chance you get Banjo.
Boss,
I'll put my one GeekVerse
Well,
dollar on it
right.
right now that there is a 93% chance that Banjo's in this game.
There you go. Boss mode level, I've not much experience with Sideways. He asked if I like the DC character Sideways. No, because I'm super
Which
far
character?
behind Sideways. Is the
Which
character's
character?
name.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is the character.
I'm very far behind on.
It's like Batman, but like turned on his side.
I'm very far behind on Dark Knight Metal. I need to catch up. I read the first 2 issues, really liked it. Scott Snyder's my favorite writer right now. I'm just behind. I just finished Batman White Knight, which was Prime. It was about
White
if
Knight.
Joker became a hero.
All these, just if Joker
Did
was this,
Batman
if Joker
be
was
evil?
that. Just let Joker be himself, you know?
Was Batman evil? Is that
He
why?
was
He's always
not
evil.
trusted by the public anymore. But
So Joker took his place.
Joker found this medicine to make him into a normal person, but still he had all the high Q and the trickery and whatnot. And him and Harley Quinn turned the corner, and he became the White Knight of Gotham, and he was, he was a hero for quite a while.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's only 8 issues, so read it. It's
Only
great. So, me and Taylor have threatened about starting a
DC
combo
streaming
club.
service.
So,
That's when I'll get it.
100%.
True.
Anything else?
Well, we still didn't look at with streaming.
I don't have a recommended option anymore, so I don't know what you would take. Like you would literally just scroll.
Well, Hannibal's still on there, right?
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's not like
Moneyball?
I recommend-
I really enjoy Moneyball.
I'd recommend Made for Honor with Patrick Dempsey. I really like that rom-com.
Moneyball's
A Beautiful
great
Mind
one.
is a classic.
Um,
Spider-Man 3.
Okay, hang on. Let's do this. Let's go.
I mean, Black Mirror. That's a classic.
Black
that
Mirror is a
you can
classic.
Watch it. Lots of
Let's
episodes
pick
there,
one
so-
movie from each line. Blockbuster movies. You can only pick between these 5. What you gonna recommend?
I'm gonna go ahead and pick Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I don't know if you've heard of this, but this is essentially a movie about. This is also an extended edition, so it takes the movie that you already know and love and
Here you go,
makes it
Ben. This is
longer.
what we're giving you.
So this movie features characters like Gollum, like
He's on the
Aragorn,
thumbnail.
and there's lots of trees in this movie. So get ready for some action.
I wouldn't recommend that because you don't want to start with the third. I'm going to recommend Good Will Hunting, which one? It's not a blockbuster movie because I don't think that budget is over 100 million. I will check. It is about a movie about a janitor who is very smart, but it is phenomenal acting with him. Robin Williams' best role, he plays his therapist. Ben Affleck. They wrote this movie. They won an Oscar for writing for this movie. Mm-hmm. If you've not seen it, I think you'd actually.
It is really good.
Did you say what's an Oscar?
I want to watch Good Will Hunting.
It's very good.
I watched it very recently, and it is a phenomenal film.
So is that what you're suggesting on the blockbusters?
I would say Good Will Hunting, but I mean, honestly, like these first 4 we're looking at are pretty good.
Give it
Mine was pretty good. Yeah,
it's alright.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, you have to remember that when you say these first 4, we're the only 3 that can see.
Yeah.
It was Guardians of the Galaxy, Return of the King, 8 Mile, and Good Will Hunting. Because we have 5 movies each line. Ended with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. Like,
don't watch Ghostbusters, the female version, and not because female, it's because bad movie. So next one, comedy. So I already threw out my pick, Maid of Honor. Love it. This story is about these two have been best friends.
Justin Trudeau?
No, that's Patrick Dempsey. They've been friends their whole life. She is saying, hey, I want you to be my maid of honor. And of course, we would think it. That's when he finally realizes, hey, I love this girl. I need to be with her. So he has to break up the wedding. Patrick Dempsey is dreaming. It's Michelle Monaghan from Mission Impossible, who plays Ethan's wife. But then for homework, I would suggest War Dogs because that is the guy who is directing the standalone Joker movie. So
War Dog. Oh, this is a tough one for me.
So the only one I've actually seen out of this is Hot Fuzz, and it's been some time since I've watched it, though it was fun at the time.
I'm going to answer this possible. Would you make and put short films on YouTube? We've talked about it. We've done like kind of what's a Jar Jar. The closest thing that's going to get to that right now is Work Hard, Wolf Hard. That's kind of mixed with, we have mini storylines like Dylan just kidnapped Taylor in our last storyline. And there's
no proof.
Yeah. So that's the closest we're getting right now. It's honestly just the time, and it's because we don't make any money on YouTube, so it's hard to invest when we want podcasts. And the money isn't even for us. We don't make much. It's to like, so we get more gear. My goal, at least in the next 2 years, is trying to get a mic for everyone. That is my 100%. Like, and I want a soundboard and everything.
Or like.
Just one mic for everything, because like when I'm a lot louder, we can actually control people's audio's level. So that's the goal. Legitimately, when people ask like, "Oh, why you talking about mine?" Because that's why we want to make it better for you guys. So it's in the cards at some point. So
Hot Fuzz, I feel like I have no idea how it holds up critically. I have no idea what it's rated or anything.
Interesting choice.
I have a lot of nostalgia with that one. I watched it when I was very young, and it scared the ever living crap out of me.
It scared
but
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
The right movie.
And then and then coming back to it, I watched it again, and it was like
not scary.
I want to make sure I'm thinking.
I don't think you
it is. That's the one.
Okay.
And
there's a scary moment.
It's a very There's some really like messed up stuff that happens in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
But overall, like for me, it's a really good movie. But I think I'd have to put War Dogs over that one.
Okay, award-winning movies. I think we all know we're gonna pick here.
I'm gonna pick Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, the options were that, The Matrix, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Catch Me If You Can, Equalizer. These are all great movies. Equalizer is fine. I would say, because I'll be different, I'll say Catch Me If You Can. It's one of Leo's.
Catch Me If You Can, very good.
Yeah, one of Leo's best performances. Great chemistry with Tom Hanks.
What award did Inglourious Basterds win? Was it an Oscar?
He won supporting actor and best screenplay.
Did he get supported for Django as well?
Yeah, he shouldn't have, but he did. It should have been Leo, because they were not in together. And I think Christoph Waltz is great in Django, but Leo's just so good. And at that point, it looked like that was the only time Leo was going to get an Oscar. Luckily, the Revenant happened, so it's fine now. But at the time, it's like, hey, he hasn't won. Every year you snub him. Like, just give him this, and they give it to Christoph.
But they shouldn't just give it to him because he hasn't gotten one.
That's the way it works.
From my opinion, that's why the Oscars are kind of silly. But that's not how it should work.
I agree with Dylan on that one.
But I do sometimes, but I would if his performance was better in Django. We got a discussion, but do you feel like Django, he's better than Leo in Django?
I think they're equally as good.
So then you give it to the guy who hasn't got it yet. That's what I mean.
No.
Yes! This guy already has 2. He doesn't need another one. He's being selfish.
I think Leo 100% gets into Django though.
Yeah, but he didn't. Because you watched Sense and Sensibility, I'm not sure. Maybe this was a fan movie or my girlfriend's movie. Did you hear about the Morgans, the Danish Girl, Christmas Prince, Notting Hill, and Pride and Prejudice? I'm gonna say the Notting Hill. I've not seen it. It's on my list of movies to see, but I love Hugh Grant.
I can't recommend any of those because I haven't seen any of them.
Danish Girl is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm gonna recommend that one.
Anyway, we'll skip that one. Watch again. This is a movie I cannot describe enough. Go watch Wedding Crashers. I watch this about 10 times a month. It's my go-to fall asleep movie. It is my favorite comedy of all time. It is so damn good. But
I'm going to recommend you don't watch Batman the Killing Joke.
I recommend you watch the second half. I tried it and it wasn't as bad, but yeah.
Wedding Crashers, great film. Go watch that if you haven't seen it.
Public Enemy, is that...
Johnny Depp, Christian Bale.
Is it good?
It's good, yeah. It's just a solid...
I haven't watched it once, but I'd watch it again.
Central Intelligence was good, but it got not good as it went on.
Okay.
Crime and Action and Adventure.
Ooh. Now this is a precarious
Justice League
category.
Dark, Ghost in the Shell, Kill Bill, Safe House, and John Wick. I would recommend John Wick, but I'd also recommend Justice League Dark. I think I've heard it's alright, but I need to watch that, so I recommend that movie. Here you go, John Wick over Kill Bill, actually, for me. Somehow.
For me personally,
Ghost in the Shell.
The
Americanized version.
I don't want to be that guy who just picks all the Tarantino movies when they pop up. But I'm going to be that guy that picks all the Tarantino movies that pop up, and I'm going to pick Kill Bill. Because it's Volume 1. If it was Volume 2, I would probably veer away.
Fair enough.
As someone who hasn't seen Kill Bill, I'm going to say John Wick all the way. John Wick's
You've not seen
phenomenal.
Kill Bill?
Phenomenal film. John Wick 2, even after watching John Wick 1, you can watch 2 and it's also good.
Did you like 2? I haven't seen it yet.
I did.
Because we went to see the theaters and never did,
I
and
think
still haven't.
I would say it's a little subpar compared to 1, but
Okay.
still a very good film.
Romantic movies, you got Along Came Polly, 16 Candles,
Is
The
that
New
Johnny
Charmers in it.
Knoxville?
No, that's Ben Stiller.
Okay.
Twilight, Coming to America. I'm going
I
to say
think
Coming
Johnny
to
Knoxville.
America because Eddie Murphy in the 90s was fire. You couldn't touch
Is that
it.
John Candy?
No,
That looks like John Candy.
it's not it.
That's John Candy. I'm going to pick that one because that's John Candy.
I have no opinion on these.
Okay, let's do 2 more because it's gonna
never
keep going. We'll do these last 3 exciting movies. Transformers: The Last Night, Spider-Man 3, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Limitless, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, the sequel. I'm honestly gonna recommend Spider-Man 3 because the rest of these Limitless is a better movie than Spider-Man 3, but I'm always down for some Toby.
So I've recently rewatched Limitless, and
Didn't
as I did talk about this probably a couple months ago on a newscast. It did not live up to the hype I had when I first watched that movie. So I'm also gonna recommend Spider-Man 3 because it is so bad that it's good, but it's also good in some ways.
Interesting. I also watched Limitless and enjoyed it on my first watch through, but thinking back on it, I probably wouldn't care much for it on the
It's
second
just
one.
some weird like directorial stuff. Like it's a really strange
yet.
movie. It's
I've
really
only seen
strange.
it once.
I would always be down to
It
watch
doesn't. It
Spider-Man
didn't.
3
It didn't age
also.
well. Is how I would describe it.
Okay.
Spider-Man 3 is the one.
Movies from the 90s. Funny, it's like we just talked about this. Casino, Pulp Fiction, Dragonheart, Shawshank Redemption, The Fifth Element. You know what? Because obviously I'm going to pick Pulp Fiction. I'll shut up, go watch Casino. It's a Scorsese great classic. De Niro, Joe Pesci, Sharon Stone. If you like mob stuff, go watch that. It's not as good as Goodfellas, but it's kind of like a pseudo sequel in a way. So that's what I recommend.
Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption are both in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I would highly recommend both of them. Likely you've seen both of them already, so go watch Dragonheart and tell me what you think. I have not seen it.
You should go watch Dragonheart.
I'm gonna
Review
say
next week.
go watch The Fifth Element. It is a phenomenal sci-fi film, and I've only seen it once, but I
You gotta watch it 5 times.
I do.
Also, it's strategically placed as the 5th movie on that column,
Yep.
on that horizontal whatever row is the word I'm looking for.
Critically acclaimed movies: Arrival, Stray Copter, and Beautiful Mind, Sicario, and Rush.
Ooh.
All fantastic movies, but I gotta get to Arrival. That thing breaks you, so that is a damn good movie.
Arrival is damn good. A Beautiful Mind, I haven't seen it in a few years, so I'd like to rewatch that one. Sicario, still haven't seen it, but I want to.
Sicario's really good.
Yeah, so
Is that
there's
Chris Hemsworth?
yeah, Rush. He plays a car racer.
Oh, Rush
against
is so
Benzema.
good.
Fuck, that sounds amazing. I gotta go see it.
It's
It
very,
is
very good.
so good.
Yeah.
That one,
Ron Howard.
actually, that one's a tough one for me between Rush and Arrival.
Really?
Yeah, I absolutely loved Rush.
Great band, too.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. I think I would lean towards Arrival, but I mean, it's streaming. You can just watch them both.
There we go. You got lots of options. You know what? If after 9 we ever have no topics, we'll pull that out again. That was a good one, Ben. That's good just to look at the Netflix.
Through Netflix.
You know, just see which.
You know, Travis, I saw you with that little hand gesture you did when I said Rush. You know, Rush's Hemispheres is easily one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. Super, everyone go check that out. That has 4 songs that are just complete gold.
Wild.
They're no AC/DC, so.
The first half
I
is
would hope they're
the
not.
first half is one song. It's 23 minutes long. It's fucking amazing.
Sometimes
And then
too
the
much birthday,
side
too much
two
birthday.
has the trees. You probably heard the trees. Has circumstances. You know, nice, great song. Has some French in there. And La Villa Strangiato is probably the greatest instrumental song of all time. Check out those drums. Check out that guitar. Check out the bass. It is all top notch.
Check them out.
Please listen to Russia's Hemispheres.
Ben, I didn't know your question.
That is
also,
probably the utmost greatest thing that has come out of Canadian culture. So there you
I
go.
also, first of all, that's Trish Stratus. Second of all, I also
So what?
didn't know it's Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus?
Trish Stratus. And second of
Trish
all, Ben, I
Stratus.
didn't know that your question
Beautiful
included
one.
overrated music as well. So I'm glad we're talking about that today.
Overrated music. Wow. When's someone gonna ask? You know, what's your top? What's your favorite Steely Dan album? That's just that's the question. Not
There you go. Good
Don't
choice.
set you up. You can't ask me
A
that.
fan asked
I've
that.
already asked you that.
But when someone asks me
many
that, I will
times.
go
Many
in
times.
on this question. If
Well,
they could.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. You guys got anything to say before we get out of here?
Uh,
Fun cast.
My phone's dead.
This is a fun cast.
That's how long this cast is.
Tyler's phone is dead. It's got really warm in this room. I'm out of water.
I'm gonna get water.
I'm
been
about
out
to
of water
pass
for an
out.
hour.
And we got to record some spicy.
It's windy
so-
outside, which is good because there's a lot of smoke here, and now the smoke is being winded away.
You don't know that's being blown away though.
Yeah. So you know,
And
what,
I
ladies
have a question actually. There's an event across the West Coast, I assume, but it could have been.
Oh, I
north.
saw that.
It was an event on Facebook with over 50,000 people that was throw rocks at the smoke to make it go away.
Yeah.
And I was invited to it. I participated. I
Okay.
threw a rock, a single rock at the smoke.
Nice.
And
Fuck, it's working.
I did because rocks are people too, you know. So
I
thank you very
believe-
much
I believe in the rock.
for tuning in. All the links are down below. If you like this, now you know on Patreon you see it after 9, and I'll give you also exclusive too. Last time was when we record them for Patreon. We do live stream them like late at night usually, so you can get it for free that way. But you'd have to be.
If you're clinging
you
close.
gotta be up past 9 o'clock.
You got, you know, this is a rare one.
Depending on
It's
time
a
zone.
fast.
Yeah.
Time zone though.
I mean, it could even be.
The trick is you just move somewhere such that when it would be after 9 for us, it's like a nice time for you.
So
So go to like India or something.
I think next week we'll be back with a regular newscast. So if you like that, then good for you. But if you enjoyed this, thank you very much for tuning in. I promise you, it will not be boring.
Bye.